Guys, another one of, and actually the first one that he outlines in the book, Patrick Lencioni's 5 Temptations of a CEO, is status over results. But I want you to think about this as not just the CEO, but of any position where you have any influence. At any point that you have influence over other people, it is important for you to keep these concepts at the forefront of what you're growing into. So as you're a manager, if you're, you have anyone that works under you, and really at any level, if that's what you aspire to have, you need to make sure that you think about this. Status over results is one of the core 5 temptations of a CEO or any leader, because a lot of people are really obsessed with their, especially these days, I say that, I hate to say especially these days because I feel like I'm an old man, kids these days, but it does seem like in the social media era, people are more concerned with the appearance of some sort of, prejudice standpoint of like, am I good enough? Do I have power? How do people perceive me? What is my legacy? All those things. And so that's what I'm outlining here is people are concerned with their personal image, their legacy, or some sort of power. And I think power is the easiest one to think of. I think we can all think of a time when someone was given a little bit of power and then they exercised it, in a way that wasn't conducive to a good work environment. It didn't necessarily help the business at all. It was more about their pride, and that is a huge issue. We see this, I've seen this with employees. I actually can recall having to fire an employee because of this exact thing. They were in a position where they were over a few people, had influence over them, and definitely used that influence in a way that glorified their power and their pride over what was best for the company. Sometimes they just can't see the forest through the trees, and sometimes even though they can, they still choose to do this because it is uncomfortable. And that's the thing about uncovering or overcoming a lot of these temptations, is that it can be uncomfortable to overcome them. But when you're concerned with your personal image, your legacy, or your power as a CEO, it is going to be impossible just about for you to grow at the full effective. Actually, I will say it will be impossible for you to grow at the full effectiveness of the opportunity that your business has. There's no way. Even if your business is growing and you're doing this, it is not growing at its full potential. And this can be happening when you are 3 people and you're the CEO, or if you're 500 people and you're the CEO. If you are in charge of any group of people, you can really cut the legs out from underneath that organization by choosing status over the performance of the company. So what I want you to do is think about that. Am I doing that? Because it's not always that people are doing it and they understand that they're doing it. Are you avoiding conversations with employees that are temporarily difficult so that I can keep a very positive relationship with them? And are your employees actually going to respect you when they realize that you are being completely fake and disingenuous and creating this facade that is you versus being real with them? How many times have you avoided a real conversation and it tarnished the relationship over time because you weren't able to hit that problem, that situation head on? And most of your employees will respect that. It will create a much better environment where people feel like they have a leader at the helm versus somebody who's just trying to win a popularity contest. And another thing you need to consider is if you do this, if you bring this uncomfortable situation up to someone and they don't respond in the ideal way, hey, you uncovered the problem anyway, and you can cut that anchor off the ship and keep on moving full steam ahead. As you're looking into these 5 temptations of CEO, make sure you're not choosing your status with your employees, be it power that you have over them, a personal image, or some sort of idea of a legacy that you're leaving behind, over the performance and the results of the organization.